In NetSpective, we have various ways we handle reporting with the appliance. The first would be with our on-the-box reporting, which will give us a general overview of the traffic going on in your network right now. As we can see, we're currently looking at a category access summary, where we can see traffic going to your various categories. We have several different reports, as you can see in the list. If I jump to recent activity, we can see some more detailed information on what's going on in your network right now. I can type in a username, an IP address, a website, anything we want to, and this page will refresh with that data, giving us a means of troubleshooting, seeing where a user was going, why they got blocked, what category the hits were at. Maybe you're trying to pinpoint a particular website that was blocked so that you can allow it through. But if we come down to logging, we can see we've enabled a link to our NetAuditor. NetAuditor is our security event manager that we provide for free with NetSpective for all of your off-the-box reporting. This can install on any one of your Windows-based servers, a VM, an old desktop. Anything made in the last 10 years that is Windows-based will support this product. We recommend with our 10 gig solution that you offload logs with FTP due to the amount of data that you are offloading every minute. But with our 1 gig solution, we recommend that you offload logs with syslog. We're using syslog so that we can process logs in real time and do some interesting things with them, such as have these real-time dashboards. This interface is fully interactive. We can drag these windows around. We have our date selection up top, so we can always select a previous day to see the traffic from that day. But if we leave this on today, these tabs refresh every few seconds with live data. So we can come down here and see what I've been looking at today. I just select my name and I can see my top websites, my top categories, protocols, and possibly even some search terms I may have searched for. I can easily clear that out and say, who's been going to shopping websites today? I just click on that category and my tabs refresh once again with my top users for that category, the websites they were going to, and so on. So this dashboard gives you a real easy way to see an overall view of the traffic going on in your network today. We also have our real-time monitors. Once again, this interface is fully interactive. We can drag these windows around, and we can use these monitors to watch over any type of traffic we want in real time. I can add a new line to this monitor. We see some general options for that line up top, but then down at the bottom we have our various filters. We can select any number of filters, any combination of them, to have this line be as specific as we want it to be. So we can select a couple of groups. We might want to exclude these groups and pull in all the ones that aren't checked off. We use inclusive, exclusive, expression-based logic with all of our filters. And when I add that user group option, it goes away from the list and we're left with everything else. So I can get more granular. Perhaps we want to add a status flag. Maybe we're only interested in traffic that we're allowing out of the network. You may not want to monitor all the blocked hits. We can just select that blocked flag, exclude it from the list, and then this line only represents traffic for these groups that you're allowing out of the network. Real simple to configure. Now the challenge we have with things like monitors and dashboards with any solution is that they're only so good so long as you have somebody there to watch over them. And as you can imagine, you can't have somebody sitting there all day long staring at monitors and dashboards. So what we did was we included this alarming feature. If I enable this alarm, for example, anytime during the weekdays, whenever this line exceeds a threshold of 10 accesses within 5 minutes, we want to be alerted to that traffic. And we can have the system alert us in a number of ways. We can have it send out an email notifying you there is something that needs to be brought to your attention. We could touch a web page with an HTTP GET, or we could even have the system send you a report. And these could be reports that we custom made for this particular purpose. So anytime there's something going on in the network that you want to be notified of, you won't have to wait weeks later, who did what went wrong. This system can be set up to alert you immediately so that you're never left in the dark. If I come to our reporting section, we can see how we can configure all of our various reports. All of our reports are found here on the left, and I can just select one to configure it. We have the duration of time that this report will encompass. We can select any time or date range that you choose. We have the frequency in which we will run this report, so you can choose to run it right now if you want. We can schedule this report to run at a later date and time, or schedule it to run at intervals. So if you require a report once a day or once a week, you have those options. We could even save this report. So we can come in here, configure all of your various options, save it, and it will appear under your stored reports. So the next time you come in, you can just click on that new report and run it. You won't have to reconfigure all your options again. As we can see, we have a number of different output formats for all of our reports. We have several different delivery methods, so you can assign this report to a certain administrator. You can send this out to their portal archive, email that to them, or send it to an FTP server. We have several different object level control for this report. So if you're running a report and you may be looking for something specific, you may not want to see the charts this time around. It's real easy to turn things like that on and off. Then down at the bottom, we have the same filters we saw before. And we can use any number of these, any combination of them, to have this report be as specific as we want it to be. So I can select a couple of users. We may be running a report that has a lot of information and detail in it. So much information that you may not want to see everything in that report. It's real simple to omit things from that report, like your advertisements. You may not want to see your society plugins, the like buttons and plus ones you see on web pages, which give the appearance that a user's been on Facebook all day long, when they really haven't been. It's real simple to exclude those items, so when you run this report, it comes in nice and clean, just showing you the information you want to see. Up top in our Security Manager section, we can create managers locally, or we can bring them in from your NetSpective appliance. And with NetAuditor managers, we have several different settings so that you can customize these managers to where they can only run reports on the users you want them to run them on, and they can only run the reports that you want them to run. Your managers will never be left wanting more. So if you specify only these 4 reports, for example, they won't see the rest of the reports in the list and ask you why they can't run them. When they come into the reports section, they'll have their own little version of this portal. So they'll only see the reports that they ran or the reports that you published to their portal. As we can see up top, we're currently expiring reports after a number of days with a size limit. But because we're offloading logs onto one of your servers, we'll never force you to delete these logs. You can keep them as long as you want to. As we can see in this column, all of our reports ran pretty quickly. They don't take hours to run, they all ran in a matter of seconds. And finally, we can show some examples of some of our more popular reports. We have things like our refer analysis by user, which can show us not only where a user has been going, but we can get an audit trail of everywhere they've been since then. So we see this user went to a website, they may have hit some refers on that website, some advertisements, and then they eventually went on to some different web pages and opened some other tabs and browser sessions. Our search phrases by user can show you every single search term a user has put into search engines like Google and Bing. With NetAuditor 3.1, not only can we hook into NetSpective for all of the content filter reporting, but we can hook into your firewall logs so we can get all of your NetFlow statistics, your bandwidth alerts, and security alert messages. We can hook into GeoIP data so we can see actual country information, where data is going to and coming from. And since we are currently hooked into our logon agent data, not only will we see IP addresses associated with all our volume traffic, but we can see actual usernames as well, making these reports much more useful to your eyes. We have our trend analysis report, which can show us not only what's going on this week, but we can compare it to last week, the week before, and the week before that, so we can see this trend of data going on in your network. You may want to see your top category reports, all of the traffic going to your various categories, and then you can easily select a particular category, see a chart on that traffic, the top protocols for that particular category, your top users, as well as the websites they were going to. With our chronological activity detail report, we can see every single access this user made to the internet. And then this is a report where we may want to omit certain things from it, those advertisements, society plugins, software updates, so that when you run this report, it comes in nice and clean, just showing you the information you want to see. If you're interested in learning more about the NetAuditor Security Event Manager, you can contact our sales team or visit our website where the product can be downloaded for evaluation, and you can try it out with any one of the firewall logs that you see in this list. If your firewall isn't listed in this list, you can easily send us a copy of those log files, and we can check to see if it will be compatible with NetAuditor and any configuration changes we may need to do to support it.